Saturday, March 9th, and I'm looking out the window. 60s, 70s last week, and right now I'm watching the snow come down. Who knows? Anyway, so over the last few years, in the back of my mind, I've been kind of like, how much is enough? How big does a deer have to be for you to be happy? Anyways, we're going to dig into that. Got me a warm cup of coffee. Let's get into it.
Every hunter out there wants deer coming into their stand, right? Why do we use Full Force hunting products? That's why.
Alright. Well, I got a nice warm cup of coffee here. You may have a cold beer, depending on the time of day you're watching this. Whatever. Let's go back 25, 30 years. Maybe not even that long. Maybe 20 years. So when these trail cameras come on the market, they were, showing you your inventory and things like that. And prior to that, you were probably shooting the first buck that walked by, whether it be a spike or 4-point and 6-point, whatever. I mean, could be lucky and shoot a 140-inch 10-point. Who knows? You got to say, how much has my cameras changed my hunting? Cameras will show you what not to shoot. Cameras will show you the best thing you have on your property. I think cameras have helped in creating a more mature herd in every state, where most of the time you'd probably shoot that 4 or 6-point thinking that there's nothing big on your property, when there really is. But the way the industry has gone, in my eyes, it's gone in the wrong direction. We have to look at we have to look at hunting as one, putting food on the table, and second, you're hunting with family and friends, and I think that's the most important thing. And then thirdly, if you want to throw trophies in there, go ahead and throw a nice mature buck in there. But the first two are probably the most important to the majority of us, especially here in Michigan. It's such a huge, rich tradition. Now you're watching videos of these guys that own a lot of land, and they're growing 200-inch deer, and I'm thinking it's to the point where nobody gives a crap anymore. They're just so sick of hitting the woods, and the biggest thing they see is a 100-inch 8-point, and they're seeing on these videos these 190, 200-inch deer, and years ago I said this to my friends. I'm like, man, we're not too far off, and this is just going to implode. It's just going to implode within itself. Big deer are not going to be the attraction anymore, and we're there. We are there. I guess one day I'm going to have to do a video around my room here, and show you what's on my walls here. But I'm to the point where I don't give a shit. It's more important to me to take out my family and friends and video them and help them shoot whether it be their first or their biggest deer. I got bucks on my wall from, I think I got 3 over 150. There's one that's 1 over 160. I mounted them because, man, I love deer and I love racks. And don't get me wrong, if I get a 150 or 160 on camera, damn right I'm going after it. You damn right I am. Because to me it's a challenge. It's not the trophy. To me it's more of the challenge. And another big challenge is trying to get, family and friends on some really nice deer. My lady friend, ex-girlfriend I should say, name was Andrea. She smoked 2 good ones a couple years ago. No one in her family's ever really shot anything bigger than a normal 6 or 7 or 8 point. I mean, just your standard 100-inch, dime a dozen. And we set her up and she smoked 2 good ones. I get more joy out of that nowadays than I did chasing a 150, 160-inch deer. And doing the whole video thing is, it's like you're doing it yourself. So we're going to talk a little bit more on that. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Mark here from Buckeye Outdoors. If there's one thing that we like to use in our woods, it's full force hunting products when the shot counts.
All right, we're back. I went and got a warmer. So we left off me just liking to take my family and friends out, set them up, and and going from there. Luckily, this past year, my buddy Ken Hill was gracious enough to make the 3-hour trip up a couple times to video me. And I think him and I make a really great team when it comes to hunting and videoing. I actually met him, gosh, it's got to be 15 years ago, when I was guiding, and he had purchased a hunt, and ever since then we just kind of hung out. We rode our Hurleys out to Sturgis, South Dakota. We've hunted a lot together. He brought his boys in to hunt, and we just always had a good time. And that's really what, in my eyes, is what hunting is all about. His boys were here, and they got some deer, and believe it or not, he's the only one that's never got a deer. He's gotten lost, and I've had to go track him down. But these are the things that make hunting what it is. This whole industry, like I said, it's imploded in on itself. Nobody gives a rat's ass if you go out and you grow this 200-inch deer on your 500 acres. It's like, is it really wild? Yeah, it's wild. I mean, but you grew it, whatever. I think y'all know what I'm getting at. The majority of us here in Michigan, we hunt state ground. It's a tough hunt. It's a very tough, and I'm not saying that there's no big deer or anything like that, because there is. They're just difficult to hunt. So we watch these videos, and we see these guys just, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, or wherever, where there's low deer, there's no pressure whatsoever, and they're shooting these big deer on their own private ground that they grew for 6, 7, 8 years, and now this thing's a giant one, whatever. the frustration of people has really just, people just said, fuck it, I'm done. I'll never shoot that. I don't know how to hunt. And the reality is, they probably do. They probably do a really good job at hunting. It's just that their frustration is getting the best of them. So you own a piece of ground, 500 acres, whatever, and you're able to grow these deer year after year, and you're getting 190, 200-inch deer year after year. How fast would you get bored? I'm sure you'd get bored. You can't tell me you wouldn't, because you're like, this is easy. I'm going to find something harder to do. If you don't challenge yourself, you're going to get bored. This is what I like. I have my friends that go out of state. Then they don't even hunt here in Michigan. They'll go out and rifle hunt Kansas, wherever. And they come back with really nice bucks. 160, 170. They do. I mean, and they go and they mount them, hang them on their walls. And they walk in the house and I just give them shit all the time. All the time. I mean, what's so hard? There's no challenge to it. So you go out there and you pull the trigger on something that's 200 yards away. I mean, come on. They don't hunt here. And I'm proud of my wall. I mean, I don't have what they have, but I challenge myself, and I'm proud of what I got. But how much is enough? I mean, okay, so you go out and you shoot, you get lucky. You get lucky one year and you come across a 200-inch deer and you shoot it. What then? Is your hunting over with? I mean, I don't know. I like hunting in Michigan. It's a challenge. It's a big challenge. It's gotten a lot better since I live in the Antler Point restricted area. So it's gotten a lot better. I just think a lot of people they're fed up with watching videos and seeing these 180, 190, 200 deer getting shot all the time. I mean, if that's all you want, seriously, if that is all you want, go to a game range. Just get it over with. Hang that sucker on the wall and tell a lie. That's all it is, man. We'll be right back. All right. I mean, I'm not saying go to a game ranch and do that and tell a lie. I mean, I'm kidding around, obviously. So when the frustration that comes with all this and people not wanting to go out because they're not seeing what they're seeing being shot on video, and you gotta ask yourself first, how many people actually do that year after year? I mean, you see somebody shoot a 180, 190-inch deer, got it on video, whatever. How much you want to bet they really don't do that again? There's a small, very small percentage of people that do this year after year. These people, this is what they do for a living. You and I, if I shoot a 180-inch deer, I know I'm never going to shoot something that big again. And it's obviously because where I hunt, These guys that continuously do this year after year. Well, one, either they grow them, or they're just they do live in Iowa or Kansas or what have you, and they got easy access to that type of land. So I just take it for what it is. If I could, and I've always said for the last 20 years, I've always said, around here where I live, if you can get on and harvest 120, 130 inch deer every single year, which is a very, very respectable deer, and no doubt about that, especially on state land. If you do that every year, you're a pretty damn good hunter. You're a pretty good hunter, especially, up here. And it's hard to grow them that big up here. A lot of that is because of the snow we get. I mean, it's just today. Yeah, we live in snow up here for 4 or 5 months a year. So, yeah. So, yeah, I ask you. So, how much is enough? I mean, what's the next goal? 250 inch deer? Is that even feasible? Obviously that's years down the road, maybe, after this whole industry has completely imploded itself and nobody's hunting, these deer can get that big. I guess I'm just putting my 2 cents in today. I just think this industry is really just off in a different direction now. I really don't think it's big bucks anymore. I think it's going to gear towards more of family and friends and hunting camp and things like that. People just being successful in general. 90% of us are never going to see, 150 inch deer in our lives on the hoof. That's not. A small percentage, they may get one. And I think a lot of people are just going that direction. They don't care about big racks anymore. So, anyways, just wanted to get that off my chest and go from there. Thanks for watching. Take care.
Every hunter out there wants deer coming into their stand, right? Why do we use Full Force hunting products? That's why.